Okay, so you get here to Nebraska. Christian's starting. You know, he's a big stud for them, and you guys won the national championship in your first year. But he was here for a year, or did he leave your freshman year? You were a freshman. He was a senior. Is that how it worked here? Were you teammates here?
No, he was 2 years older. We ended up starting side by side for the 95 season.
Right, yep.
And, you know, not to say it was all, peaches and cream, between my brother and I.
Ask Scott Frost. It wasn't all peaches and cream.
There's a few stories out there. One in particular where it was, you mentioned Christian, and it was when Nebraska played Florida State. It was 93 season. So
94
and Christian had his kind of coming out party against Oklahoma the week before.
He was very dominant.
Right? And so Christian and I lived together at this point, and we're driving down to the stadium and going down for dinner. And it's something that we're just at each other's throats about. I forget exactly what. But we get in the car, and he's like, you should just fucking leave and transfer. Nobody likes you here, right?
Brotherly love on parade.
And I said something along the lines of, your game is shit. You're living off fucking 5 plays. Talk to me when you can put a whole game together, okay? Meanwhile, I haven't played it down, but... So we get down to about right outside the stadium. Do you remember before the renovation, 9th Street kind of went right past the stadium, and there was that little Husker shop there. And well, we got to the lights prior to that. So we were just past O Street. I don't know if it's P or what direction the alphabet goes, but yeah. So we're there, and we're at the stoplight, and we're going. I said something to Christian, and you just know with your brother when there's a look that's different from the other looks that he gives you. And I knew something was about to happen. So he said, fuck, that's it. The emergency brake went up. Now we're at the stoplight. So I'm like, oh shit. I lock my door.
Of course.
He sees me, so he gets about halfway around. He sees, and he realizes he needs to sprint back to this. But his door is all the way open. So I'm reaching over, and I'm trying to get it to block him out of the car. I don't. He gets in the car. We end up fighting. We're throwing fists. I got 2 fingers up his nose. We end up in the back seat somehow. We fall out onto the pavement, and now we're standing up, and we're fighting. He swings. I duck, hit him in the nose. He's got a big old lump. Broke his nose. Then he kind of went into the body, had some, bruised ribs. Eventually, we both just ran out of gas. We couldn't do it anymore. But we turn around, and traffic is fucking backed up for like a mile. And people are outside their cars watching. So we walk into training table, and we go up to a D-line table, and meanwhile, Christian's got like half of a shirt on. I've got blood everywhere. Terry Keneally, Jason Pesterfield, all those guys, they're in tears, they're practically
Look at these 2 guys.
And they're just like, oh God, what did you two, what did you 2 get up to? And so Christian says to me, let's just go get a steak, right? So we go, we go to a steak, get a steak, everything, go home. Come back the next day, walk into D-line meetings, and Charlie's sitting there, and he's just like, don't tell your fucking mother what you did. You idiots.
Because Mom was a much bigger threat to you. Yeah,
that's right.
Mom finds out that you 2 are fighting in Nebraska. That's it.
Yeah, so that was one of the stories that I felt was appropriate.
That's good that you clarified that, because many of us had wondered for years how the traffic got backed up there at that light that night.